Hiya! Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday evening. It is literally just 8 p.m.
Yes.
And we are live, coming to you, each and every one of you, to you, and definitely
We
you
can
over
see
there.
you, actually.
Put that down.
Yes.
No smoking. I'm not smoking. You're not
No,
smoking.
you're not. You're still not smoking, are you?
I can't believe it.
No, I can't believe
I don't know how I've done it, to be honest with you. I do not know how I've done it. I've not missed it as much as what I'm actually.
Really?
Yeah, no. It's made me quite hyper.
Yes, it has made you hyper. Before we went on air,
yes,
that's when you would have
me
normally...
nerves. I would have had to have gone out and chain smoked.
You would?
Or chain vaped.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have looked covered in smoke.
Yes.
I would have been like that bit in the church ceremony where they walk around with the...
Yeah, you would have been like the shake and back woman.
Put the freshness back. How's your week been?
It's been very good, thank you.
What have you been up to?
I went to see Drop the Dead Donkey in Leeds.
We should explain that's a play, not an actual...
No, there was no real donkey involved.
It's not a ceremony, everybody. No. We know he does a lot of them these days, but that's not a ceremony.
No, it was a lovely play. It was.
It's not based on the TV program, is it? All right.
Yeah, so they'd all come back after 20 years.
Yeah.
And set up a new TV program, a bit like this one, actually.
Oh.
Skating on thin ice a bit,
yes.
Very awkward female. Anyway, I better not go into more detail, really. Yes.
I am delightful here today. Listen, we've got a lovely show coming up.
We have, haven't we? Who's on the show?
I'm looking forward to this one. The one, the only, Mr. Daniel O Donnel will be gracing us with his presence. Remember him?
Of course, he's a legend.
A legend. Lovely, beautiful voice.
You're also talking to John Connor Lyons.
Oh, I've been grilling our politician.
Haven't you, John?
Yes. I have been grilling him.
Yeah, screaming.
Crying.
Yes.
Crying.
Yes.
To be fair, to get him in here, he was screaming too. So, I know, terrible. And also, we've been talking about dance.
We have, with Ben Jukes.
With Ben Jukes. He's absolutely fabulous.
Yes.
Shall we have a reminisce back to Mr. Daniel O Donnel singing my favourite Irish ballad of all time?
Makes me a bit teary, this.
Does it? Here we go.
But come ye back when summer in the meadow, or when the valleys hushed.
So joining us now is a legend, Mr. Daniel O Donnel. Welcome to our show, and you're going around the country with a tour at the moment, Daniel, and you're coming to Blackpool, I believe, on the 3rd and the 4th of May. What keeps you going? You've had this fabulous career. You're almost on constant tour. What is it that's the drive behind what you're doing?
Well, I enjoy the singing. I enjoy the music. And I suppose I enjoy meeting the people that come to the shows. It's a combination of all that. And we've been to Blackpool many times and always had a nice time. The Opera House has a great atmosphere. So we're looking forward to getting there on the 3rd and 4th of May.
Now, you've got some wonderful fans, so many wonderful fans. And what would you say is the connection between you and them?
Well, I suppose the fact that I've always met people after the shows, I've gotten to know a good many of the people that come. And that's fantastic for me, because when I go out on the stage, I look out and I see familiar faces, friends, really. So you're not out among a whole load of strangers. I don't know everybody, but I know a lot of them because I've been doing it for over 40 years. And, I've been coming to Blackpool for, I'm sure, 30 of them years. So maybe more than 30 of them years. So, you just get to know the people, and that makes it, all the better.
And how do you go about putting together a show, keeping it fresh, but also, of course, you've got to satisfy the fans with the songs that they want to hear, I guess.
I suppose what we do really is go from then till now. I start at the beginning and do some of the songs that started it off and come down through the not the years at all now, but the decades, and do a few from the more recent albums as well. But when I go to shows myself, I want to hear what brought me there, you know. And I don't tire if I go to see Cliff Richard. I mean, I don't tire of Living Doll and, you know, Summer Holiday and Miss You Nights and all the great songs that he's had hits with.
Oh, yeah, definitely. What do you think of music at the moment? What's your opinion on pop stars of today? What do you think of them?
Listen, everybody has their place, you know, and I think anybody that goes out and tries to do what they love, and if they make people happy, then good luck to them. You know, everybody has a place, no matter whatever you're doing. I always say to people that are starting out, go out and be yourself. You're never going to be as good as the person you admire, but you'll be fantastic as yourself.
What do you think life would be like if you hadn't got into singing? What do you think you would be doing instead?
Well, I don't know. Myself and my daughter, we just finished making an IKEA wardrobe, so it definitely wouldn't be woodwork or anything like that, because the doors are squeaking. Oh my goodness, it's shocking. But the wardrobe looks lovely, but we've obviously done something wrong, so I'll have to enlist somebody that knows how to make a wardrobe door unsqueak to help us out. But it's hard to say what I would have done. When I was at school, I loved the business subjects, accountancy, economics, and maths. That was where my head was best. So I suppose I did go to college for a very brief period, which is, you know, I should have maybe got my degree and then took to the road, but I didn't have the patience. But I did start to do a business, you know, course, but I didn't finish it. But maybe something in business. Teaching probably would be something I would have enjoyed too.
Bit of a strange question, but how would you sell yourself to people that aren't necessarily aware of you and your work?
If they could and come to enjoy the music, it's a fun night. I hope that they would enjoy it, and it's a mix of country and easy listening and gospel and rock and roll and a few Irish ballads. It's a real sing-along night.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thanks very much.
I know, yeah, we look forward to seeing you in this fabulous show from the 3rd and the 4th of May. It's exciting. Well, joining us now for another fantastic chat is Mr. John Connor Lyons. Welcome to our show. We've just been working out, you were the first politician we had on the show 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, how old would you have been then?
I was 21 then.
21, so you're now 27.
I am.
And things have gone quite well for you.
I think so, yes. I've been a councillor for just under 6 years for Piccadilly Ward. And yeah, ever since I've been a councillor, I've served on the planning committee and I now chair that committee. So it's my job to hold developers and the council to account with all the planning applications.
Now, so many people, when I would have introduced you as a councillor, as part of what's the word, politics, they would have gone, oh, because so many people are disengaged with it these days.
Absolutely.
How are you going to get people back to, well, first of all, you've got to get them to vote, and also they've got to care.
Yeah.
And I think these days, a lot of people think, what difference does it make, Labour or Tory? It's all this much and muchness, really, isn't it?
No, absolutely. I mean, there's tons of disengagement, which is such a shame to see, but it's kind of understandable. I mean, we've particularly kind of late in this country, we've had politicians on a national stage lie, give false promises. I mean, we always remember the 350 million for the NHS during the Brexit referendum. So I understand why people are disengaged.
How long is Manchester going to be a second thought in opposed to London?
I mean, it's a continued frustration. I mean, that is one of the things that Andy Burnham actually does very well. He's actually brings Manchester at the forefront of debate, and the politicians in Westminster do listen to him. Some are actually frightened of him because he's so popular, actually, and he does have that kind of massive name recognition. So Manchester has a great advocate in our mayor, Andy Burnham. But I believe, as does Andy Burnham and Labour leader in Manchester, Bev Craig, that we need proper devolution so that not just Manchester, but loads of different cities and towns can properly make decisions for themselves, whether that's around kind of taxes, whether that's around kind of housing and healthcare. We have some devolution, and that's why we have Mayor Andy Burnham, and some decisions locally, but we can go much further and much faster.
So how can that be achieved then?
So
within your tenure?
Well, really hoping it can be. I mean, we've got a potentially incoming Labour government, and we're working with kind of shadow cabinet ministers, Bev and Andy, kind of lobbying them to see if we can get the devolution we need, not just for Manchester, but for Liverpool and other cities and towns as well.
So what about the trains then?
Well, we definitely...
they're a disaster, aren't they?
They are a disaster. And the national government, the Tories, despite attacking Labour on kind of our commitment to bring trains back into public control, they have started to do that. Northern Rail, that's now publicly controlled because they couldn't run it properly. In Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham wants 8 new lines that are publicly controlled for Greater Manchester to be part of the B network. So essentially, you can have a pass that covers your bus, your train, and your tram.
But again, when will that?
Well, that pledge has been made. That new pledge has been made as part of this election, and he has a 4-year term if re-elected next May. So he wants to see that within that 4 years, and with a national Labour government helping cities like Manchester and towns bring those trains into public hands. Hopefully we can see that over 4 or 5 years.
So there's been a consideration at the moment to improve things within our gay village,
Yes.
Canal Street, Bloom Street, Richmond Street, all that. It needs improvement. Where are we at with that?
So in 2019, myself and my Labour colleagues in the city centre secured the funding to deliver a gay village review, which would essentially protect the gay village, but then also enhance it as well, because that's important. Whilst the gay village has been a fantastic anchor for many people to move to our great city, and it shows how people can be themselves, and that's fantastic. It's not the best in its current format, and it needs a lot of love and a lot of care to make it more accessible, more of a friendly and safe place. So we've launched this year an action plan to kind of improve the day-to-day stuff, but also look at the longer-term ambitious stuff like pedestrianisation or a permanent home for the LGBTQ Foundation and a community.
Yeah, because the Northern Quarter, they've got pedestrianisation now. You can walk through there without even thinking that you have to think about crossing the road now. So that's lovely. Why was that the first place to be considered for that, and not somewhere that's needed to have it for so long?
Absolutely. So the Northern Quarter benefited from a walking and cycling scheme funded by the combined authority that kind of Andy Burnham chairs, called the Piccadilly to Victoria Walking and Cycling Route. And through that funding, we were able to pedestrianise a lot of the Northern Quarter. So it essentially benefited from being in between 2 train stations, 2 of the biggest train stations in Manchester. So that's why that got that fund. That's why the Northern Quarter got that piece of funding. But we're looking at separate solutions, separate funding for the gay village, because it completely makes sense to pedestrianise large parts of the gay village to make it a lot safer. And of course, it kind of enables that cafe culture.
For the theatres and the entertainment world, there's obviously a lot of money gone into the Aviva/MIF, whatever they want to call it this week, venue.
Yeah.
Do you think that the council were right to put so much money into a place that appears now to be dormant most days?
Yeah, I think it's still deciding what it needs to be. I mean, obviously there are people running the factory or Aviva Studios, like say whatever they want to call themselves. The council did put the money. It is creating jobs and kind of attention. I think it's still in its kind of almost birthing stage of where it's trying to decide what it wants to be. So hopefully in the next kind of couple of years, we'll start to see in its own kind of space, and it kind of gets its own reputation for the sorts of events it's going to put on. I mean, it's not the place that I necessarily go to for my kind of theatre and things like that, but some people do, and if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Well, fair enough. You can't really argue with that. other than the fact that the people aren't going to it. And we spent an awful lot of money, taxpayers' money as well, went into it.
Well, yeah, a lot of taxpayers' money went into it. But equally, you know, projected, the council still own it. It's an asset. So, you know, it hasn't kind of gone anywhere. It's
so the council could take it back and use it for something worthwhile. And why are you so passionate about Manchester? Why Manchester for you? I mean, you've obviously got a lot of passion for politics. You could probably take it wherever you wanted to with your passion that you've got. Why for you Manchester?
Well, I'm from Manchester, from Newton Heath. So I grew up in this city during a period of rapid change as kind of we've seen the city grow. And it's given me opportunities. So I want to make sure that the city continues in that line of equality of opportunity and making sure that people who are from the city, people who come to this city seeking those opportunities, they get access to those opportunities and get given a chance. And I think that's really important. So that's why I love Manchester, because it gave me those opportunities, gave my family those opportunities. And I want to make sure that that tradition is continued, because I think that's really important.
John Connor Lyons, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
In the house of boarding, there's a lock on every door. In every room, a prisoner of a long silent war. Let us take you to an August back in 1892, when all hell broke loose in the house of boarding. Why are all these heads up? 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 Why are all these heads up?
That's Lizzie, which is coming back to.
Here.
Where have you been?
I've got you a cup of tea.
We're actually live.
Do you not want it then? You don't want it, Sodgy. I don't care either. Right, that's fine. Hello, everybody.
Taking out a trainee.
Hey, we're all having a nice show. Bit of Lizzie there.
Please contact Amnesty International. Right, now, calm yourself.
I can. I'm excited. Interpretive dance.
And we were going to say, weren't we? So it's local elections, it's mayoral elections coming up.
Yes.
And it's really, really important. Whoever you vote for, it's important just to vote.
To vote.
Democratic.
Get your voice heard.
People campaigned, they died in order for us all to get the vote. So, and
that's a really valid point.
Isn't it? Just
like
here
that.
in Manchester.
Yes.
And the other thing is, don't forget that you have to have a valid form of ID to vote now. So it's no good just turning up
with your Tesco card. That's not going to hold it, is it?
No, or your parole card.
No.
You need your anyway, the passport, driving license card, whatever. There's lots of different ways you can show your ID. You must check and get one of the correct IDs in order to vote.
That's right.
Yes.
Although if you're in Manchester, it's kind of redundant because everybody will vote for the Reds anyway, won't they?
No, I mean, when you look at the cross-section across Greater Manchester, it's a picture. Anyway, whoever you vote for, just make sure you vote.
Yeah.
I think you can't complain if you didn't vote.
Yeah, you got to be in it to win it.
You have.
There you go.
There we are.
Thank
Right.
you.
That's
Rant over. That was very... I just curtsied down to you. I've not done it this week. There you go.
Right.
Right.
We've got another fantastic interview coming up, haven't we?
We have.
With Ben Duke from the Ballet Rambert.
Ballet Rambert.
Yes. So shall we have a look?
Oh, let's.
Seven people dead and 7 new people born.
So joining us now is Ben Duke, the co-founder and artistic director of Lost Dog. Welcome to the show, Ben. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So tell us, what is Lost Dog?
Lost Dog is a dance theatre company. We started nearly 20 years ago now, and been interested in making work that sits kind of between dance and theatre. That was the goal of it all.
And why is dance your particular medium then?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I started off working more in theatre and was training to be an actor, and then I started watching dance, and I just felt like dance had this amazing ability to kind of access or help us access this kind of emotional world and take us into what felt like a kind of version of the human experience.
I mean, it's obviously working for you, because in 2022 you won the National Dance Award for Best Mid-Scale Company. And I mean, how did that feel to win an award for something that you're actually doing?
It's great. I mean, awards are funny things, aren't they? Because you're aware of there's a kind of strangeness around them, but actually, you know, they also feel like moments to celebrate what we've done and to feel like there's a recognition around what we've done. And that award is particularly focused on, you know, it's kind of recognition from people who work in the dance industry. So it means a lot. It means a lot, yeah.
And two of your latest pieces are Goat and Cerberus. Tell us about them. What's the story there?
So Goat was made first in 2017 and is now coming back. And Goat is basically inspired by the Rite of Spring, which is a story that lots of exists in dance. Lots of choreographies have been made around the Rite of Spring, which is basically the idea that times are hard and we need to sacrifice someone in order for, you know, spring to return. And I feel like it's a kind of useful idea. I'm not suggesting that we sacrifice anyone, but it's a useful idea for the time we live in now. And it was inspired as well by Nina Simone's music. And so it's a kind of combination of those two things. So the story follows the kind of the outline of the Rite of Spring, but the kind of emotional heart of it is Nina Simone's music.
I mean, dance can be classed as a bit frivolous, a bit arty-farty, but actually there's a strength within dancing. I always find when I come to watch, as a rarity, dance shows, there's a strength behind it and a very clever way of storytelling. I'm guessing that's why these two shows have been brought together for Death Trap, which is appearing at the Lowry from tomorrow until the 20th.
Yeah, they're thematically linked. They're quite different pieces. They have a different atmosphere to them, different kind of physicality, but yeah, they're linked around this idea of and I think you're right. I think dance is a way of helping us look at things that feel difficult and heavy, but the dance is also this amazing it's an amazing kind of celebration of life and vitality. So it's that alongside these themes, and that's what I love about it, because it leaves space. It's got a story, but it also leaves space for you to find your own thoughts inside it all.
Brilliant, Ben. Thank you for your time this evening, and we'll see you soon.
Let's dance.
It's a bit of a musically night, and
Do you know, I'd love to be able to dance like what they do.
oh, I know. Wouldn't that be marvellous?
I can't. Honestly, I would love to dance. My sister was a dancer, you know. She was a disco dancer. She used to run around all flamboyant like that in the best outfits. So I had my sister that was walking around in all these tassels and things, sequins. My mother in the best suits known to man.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got it from at all.
No, I don't. Perhaps you were adopted.
No, that was a running joke from my sister as well.
Oh, really?
That's horrendous, is what she used to say. Oh, terrible. Come on. There's another year of therapy. Another year of therapy. I might just throw myself out of this window.
No.
Okay.
What a lovely show it has been again.
It's been.
We've had some lovely guests, haven't we, tonight?
I'm looking forward to next week's show, though.
Yes.
I am. Because I'm not here, everybody.
She's away.
I'm away. I'm having my annual sabbatical.
But Michael Adams will be here with me.
Yes.
So there'll be a bit of mischief, I'm afraid, because he always makes
You two, I don't know what. I'm glad I'm not here when you two are together because it never goes according to plan when you two are here.
no. Honestly, you'll be out and about. I'll be on a walk.
Where?
At Leeds, yes. Strangely, the place I've been this week.
We're doing well for covering things about Manchester.
Well, we can go a bit further.
We've done Blackpool and then we're doing Lyons.
Well, we've got viewers in Uzbekistan and goodness knows I'll be going for a walk there one week.
I don't know if you were aware of that, viewers, but that was where we were looking, weren't we?
Yeah, we were looking on Monday, weren't we?
And we've had Belarus.
Belarus, we're very big in of the Urals. We're in the United States and Canada and Algeria. Anyway, we're all right.
If people just watched in Manchester, we'd have it made, you know. We would, wouldn't we?
No one knows us here.
Hey?
So anyway, that brings us. So we'd like to say hello to everybody all around the world.
All around the world.
That brings us to the end of another international episode.
It does indeed. So thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching this week's episode of Your Manchester.